Okay, this is one person holding a rotating wheel. The person is having rotating wheel in his hands. Okay, and what happens after some time? He just takes a turn. Now that tilts. The wheel is tilted like this. Are you understanding what I am saying? The person with running wheel is rotating at certain speed, and now after currently he is holding it like this, and now suddenly he tilts. Only wheel, he himself doesn't tilt, only wheel is tilted. It is observed that the effect of this is that this particular chair also gets turned. Are you understanding what I said?
Yes.
ये जो पर्सन है व्हील लेके बैठा है with velocity, wheel is running at high velocity, okay, and suddenly wheel को उसने क्या किया? Tilt किया. Okay, it will be observed that when he tilts the wheel, like I am holding a wheel like this, and if I tilt it, it will be observed that the chair will also turn. Is it understood?
Yes.
This is the effect. So what is the input given here? There are two input parameters here. One is rotating wheel with certain velocity, and second one is tilting. What is the output? Output is the person gets turned. The person gets turned. If you change the direction of rotation of the wheel, it will be observed that the person will get turned on the other side. We'll see this experiment in the laboratory. I hope you understood the effect.
Yes.
So input was one velocity. I will tell you exact names later on. So one velocity and other couple. Tilting means I am applying couple. What is the output? Output is turning in this direction or in the other direction. Okay, now we'll see what is this. Now this is a disc. Okay, the same thing is represented by using disc. Okay, disc is rotating about this axis. Okay, now we have to use right hand rule here. Listen carefully. Which rule we have to use? Right hand rule. And thumb has to be along the vector, or the rotation should be along the fingers. What is the requirement? Rotation कैसे होना चाहिए? Direction of rotation is denoted by fingers. What thumb indicates? Direction of vector. Okay, so now in this case, disc is rotating like this. Anyone is having that ring? What we say? With this you will understand better. Okay, thank you. See, assume this as a disc. Disc is rotating in this direction. Arrow indicates the direction, right? That means fingers are indicating direction. So what is this? Vector. Okay, so direction of this, this vector, that is called as spin axis. Disc is spinning. Disc is spinning about this axis, so this is called as axis of spin. Is it understood? Now secondly, when I turn it, now we'll first of all see turning effect. What happens if the disc is turned? So now how it is turned? This disc is rotating like this, okay, for you, and now it is turned in this direction. Just like you take a turn while riding a bicycle or while riding a two-wheeler. How do you take a turn? Wheels are running like this, and if you take a turn, okay, you actually experience that gyroscopic effect there also. How? The effect of this is the vehicle tries to tilt on the other side. Am I right or wrong? आप अगर इस तरह से टर्न लेते हैं तो क्या होता है? इफेक्ट क्या होता है इसका? व्हीकल ट्राइज टू टिल्ट, और वो टिल्ट ना हो इसलिए आप क्या करते हैं? आप इस तरह से टिल्ट हो जाते हैं टू काउंटर इफेक्ट दैट इफेक्ट ऑफ द कपल. Okay, so here you just assume that disc is rotating like this. So this is axis of spin. Okay, now I am taking a turn like this. So about which axis I am taking turn? The turn is taken about this axis. You can see this vertical axis. About this axis I am taking a turn. पहले ये रोटेट हो रहा है इस तरह से, ये हो गया स्पिन एक्सिस. अभी डिस्क को मैंने टिल्ट किया इस तरह से, तो ये हो गया दूसरा एक्सिस. इसे बोलते हैं एक्सिस ऑफ प्रिसेशन. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज एक्सिस ऑफ प्रिसेशन. प्रिसेशन नॉट प्रिसीजन, प्रिसेशन. ओके. एंड दोनों का इफेक्ट क्या है? बिकॉज ऑफ चेंज इन दिस एक्सिस ऑफ प्रिसेशन देयर इज couple which tries to tilt the disc on the other side. This is the third axis. So about which axis it is tilting now? It is tilting about this axis. This is the third axis which is couple axis. Okay, so you can see here this is spin axis. जब मैंने इसको tilt किया तो spin axis change हो गया. पहले spin axis कहाँ पर है? यहाँ पर है. अभी tilt हो गया, इसको tilt किया तो spin axis कहाँ पे आ गया? Are you getting my point? Initially spin axis is here. This को tilt किया तो spin axis भी change हो गया ना? Yes. Spin axis has changed its position. So that is what is shown in the diagram. This is the initial position of axis of spin. This is change position of axis of spin. ये change क्यों हुआ? Because of turning of the disc. That is taking a curve. Because of this turning, this has changed this position. अब इससे क्या होता है? What happens because of this? Okay. So because of this, the disc tries to maintain its orientation. Okay, it tries to maintain its orientation, but in the process, what happens? Every rotating object possesses angular momentum. Now, what is momentum? Mass into velocity. Mass into velocity is called as momentum. That is for linear motion. जब कोई भी बॉडी linearly मूव रहे तो mass into velocity is called as momentum. वैसे angular motion के लिए, for angular motion mass is equivalent to, नहीं पहले mass is equivalent to moment of inertia I, and linear velocity is equivalent to angular velocity. So for rotary motion, angular momentum is given by I into omega. It is given by I into omega. Okay. So that I omega changes in this case because of this precession. That I omega changes. There is change in angular momentum. Now what happens because of this? So during precession there is change in orientation. Okay. Disc resists any change in its axis of rotation. Okay, so there is ultimately change in angular momentum. Just like change in linear momentum results in force. Change in linear momentum results in force. वैसे change in angular momentum results in couple. Have you understood the difference? Change in linear momentum. Linear momentum का मतलब सीधा है. If I move this body with certain velocity and if I suddenly stop it, you understood what I said? Just like accident takes place. In accident, why so much damage happens? क्यों होता है इतना डैमेज? क्योंकि जब भी बॉडी मूव होती है with certain mass and velocity and when I suddenly stop the vehicle, इसका मोमेंटम क्या हो गया? जीरो हो गया. Because velocity has become zero. तो ये चेंज इन मोमेंटम किस में कन्वर्ट होता है? फोर्स में. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट हेवी फोर्स देयर इज डैमेज. हैव यू अंडरस्टूड? फोर्स इज एक्सर्टेड बिकॉज ऑफ चेंज इन मोमेंटम. इनिशियल मोमेंटम मतलब इनिशियल मास इनटू वेलोसिटी एंड फाइनल मास इनटू वेलोसिटी, ये दोनों का जो डिफरेंस है वो किस में कन्वर्ट होता है? इट गेट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू फोर्स. वैसे यहाँ पर इनिशियल एंगुलर मोमेंटम एंड फाइनल एंगुलर मोमेंटम, इनका जो डिफरेंस है दैट गेट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू कपल. सो व्हाट इज आउटपुट हियर? Output is couple, and because of that couple, here it is observed that the disc tilts on the outer side. Is it understood or not? Couple is the output here. Input क्या है? Velocity of spin and velocity of precession. These are the inputs. But ये दोनों का output क्या है? Ultimate couple, because of which disc tilts on the other side. Okay, with magnitude, what is magnitude of couple? I omega p, where I is moment of inertia, of the rotating disc. Omega is, what is omega? Angular velocity of the disc. Omega p is velocity of precession. So as I told you, when input is spinning velocity and rotor precesses, it takes turn. What is output? Output is gyroscopic couple. So here the C is called as gyroscopic couple. C is called as gyroscopic couple. Okay, now same thing it is explained here. You can see. Everyone pay attention, very important here. So disc is rotating like this. So this is axis of spin, disc is rotating like this, right? About this axis it is turned. Yes or no? So this is first axis. Disc is rotating like this. What is the first axis? Which axis is this? Axis of spin. Disc is rotating like this. Right hand, fingers are curled along the direction. This is axis of spin. Okay. What next? Now about this axis. Disc is turned. Okay, it is given a turn like this. So what is this axis? Axis of precession. Now how to determine the direction of couple axis? You can see. Axis of couple, this is C out. दोनों को perpendicular. This is axis of spin. This is axis of precession, and this is axis of spin. दोनों को perpendicular and at 90 degree with that. मतलब this way. This is axis of couple axis. अब इसके about disc कैसे tilt होगी? You can see about this axis. This is the disc and this is the axis. So about this axis, disc will tilt either this side or this side. Have you understood or not?
Yes.
ये axis है अभी, इसके अराउंड इसको tilt करना है मुझे. कैसे tilt होगी? It will tilt like this about this axis or like this. Have you understood this?
Yes.
Again I repeat, spin axis, इसके अराउंड disc क्या हो रही है? Rotate. Precession axis, इसके अराउंड क्या हो रही है? It is turned either to the left or right. What is the effect? Effect is the third axis. कौन सा? Couple axis. इसके about this tilt कैसे होगी? Either to the right like this or to the left. यहाँ पर क्या shift हो रहा है? What is the effect in this case? This is the axis. मतलब अगर आप right hand लेते हैं, ये axis and right hand. So what is the effect? Disc is getting tilted on the right side. And that's what we experience. अब अभी you just imagine that you are traveling on riding a bike and it is turning like this. मतलब ये हो गया spin axis, correct? और अभी आप left turn ले रहे हैं. You are taking a left turn. मतलब precession axis ये हो गया. इसके about मैंने left turn ले लिया आपके लिए. What is the effect? Effect is couple axis. You will try to get tilted on the other side. Yes or no?
Yes.
You all have experienced this. If you take a turn in a high speed, disc आपकी जो बाइक है वो इस तरफ tilt होने की कोशिश करती है, right? लेकिन आप इसको काउंटर बैलेंस कैसे करते हैं? You tilt on the opposite side. अगर आप tilt नहीं हुए तो क्या होगा? You will topple down, okay? Or you will lose the contact from the road. So that also point we'll study. How much maximum speed you should have so that the vehicle should not skid from the road. So in all such rotating bodies we experience this effect of gyroscopic couple. Okay. Now only one thing, how to decide the direction. Right now, direction of couple axis is perpendicular to perpendicular to spin axis and precession axis. Perpendicular to which two axes? Spin axis and precession axis, and at 90 degree in clockwise direction, when seen from top. टॉप से अगर आप देखेंगे तो 90 डिग्री क्लॉकवाइज, और ये दोनों को परपेंडिकुलर. ओके, ये दोनों को परपेंडिकुलर एंड 90 डिग्री क्लॉकवाइज. सो इट इज दिस एक्सिस. सो नाउ वी हैव टू कीप फिंगर अलोंग कपल एक्सिस, सॉरी कीप थंब अलोंग कपल एक्सिस. तो फिंगर्स क्या दिखाएंगे आपको? फिंगर्स विल शो whether it is tilting to the right or tilting to the left. Is it clear?